So I feel like I'm the only sober one here in Vegas. It's about 1 a.m. Something that I've wanted to do is come down on the strip in Las Vegas and shoot black and white film. So that is what I'm doing. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Oh my goodness, I've been traveling. I've been in Vegas for since last Thursday. I think it's Monday. Yes. I was out in the desert shooting. We had a big group shootout, 3 days of shooting out in the desert, Nelson's Landing, sand dunes, all kinds of cool stuff out here in Nevada, and I am just wiped out. But I stayed an extra day so that I've always wanted to shoot black and white film in Las Vegas. And so I brought my Hasselblad. I was doing some film testing, trying to figure out exactly how to shoot black and white film at night to try and get the best shadow details, but contain the highlights, because you have such a crazy contrast range going on with all these lights and you know, so you have just this big range of contrast. And I wanted to make the highlights really easy or not easy, but just printable, like so you got detail in all these lights and stuff as much as I could possibly get. So I've been toying around with the Compensating development. It's one that Bruce, it's so loud here. Everybody's yelling and screaming, and when you get away from people, there's typically music. But I found this little spot, and what the hell, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So I've been toying around with this Compensating development. Let me straighten this out a little bit. I first read about it in The Art of Photography by Bruce Barnbaum. It's an excellent book. I think I've mentioned it before. He uses a HC110, and I've used it in the past, and I just started using it again, trying experimenting with this method of Compensating development. And what he does is he starts off with a stronger solution for the first 2 minutes, and he keeps everything to 10 minutes. And so he goes a stronger dilution for the first 2 minutes, and then for 8 minutes he does a highly diluted developer. And the methodology is that the shadows and midtones get really developed. Everything kind of develops evenly for the first 2 minutes or so, and then the midtones and highlights start pulling away after that. And some of it depends on the developer and different things like that, but generally that's what happens. So everything kind of, if this is the film, all the film, starts developing at the same time, and then once the midtones and everything, then the highlights kind of pull away. And that's why if you keep developing, you get more contrast in the highlights. You start off and get everything going really good, and then you go to the Compensating, and then that's gonna control the highlights. And I've played around with this prior to coming here, because I knew I was going to come, and I knew I wanted to shoot some film, and it worked out pretty good. I shot some Delta 3200, and I also shot HP5, and it worked much better with the HP5, but I'm not sure, because I only did one round, and then I was had to come here. So tonight I pretty much shot all HP5 because I know it was working really good for me. And that being the case, I've had to shoot on a tripod, just because I'm still losing about a stop to a stop and a half. And I want, like I said, I really want to make sure that I'm getting as much detail as I can. Now, I'm not sure if the conditions are kind of the same. The buildings that I was practicing on were more like neon lights, like old school lights. The lighting here is just crazy and it's bright, but I'm really hoping that this film turns out as good as the stuff that I shot preparing and experimenting with for coming here, because it looked really, really promising, and that's why I wanted to make this video. I know there are other methods of compensating. You can just use a more dilute development, shorter development, you know, you can do stand development. But the way this works is you actually agitate the whole time, and that's gonna promote more even development, plus it's gonna compensate. And that's what really intrigued me by this. I was really intrigued by the process, and I got really good results. So yeah, that's what I'm here doing, and I'll share the results with you guys as soon as I get back. This is a cool city, and like I said, I've always wanted to come here and shoot black and white film at night, just because it's so interesting and it's so unique, and yeah, so. So this has definitely been quite the adventure. I've been going on about 4 hours of sleep for the last 4 or 5 nights. So most of the pictures I took were the Bellagio with the fountains on, but I did quite a few other things too. So, but I gotta catch a plane in the morning, and that's always fun going through security with film, but luckily they'll always hand check it here, so that's pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, follow me. Hopefully I'll take some more cool adventures soon. It was really cool. This is actually the first time I've traveled since COVID. It was cool to see my airplane was packed. You know, it was, you know, masks were required. When I flew out of O'Hare was packed. I thought that was really cool to see and really promising. You know, it seemed like everybody was being safe. You know, everybody here seems to be doing a good job of staying safe, but still trying to, you know, get on with life. And I think that's important. So it's really great to see. It's been a good experience for me to get out, and you know, I've just been cooped up for too long. And when I'm cooped up, all I do is sit and work. So it's been really good. I had an awesome shoot out in the desert. So noisy. I think I'm gonna go stick 20 bucks in a slot machine and hop on a plane home.